All right, so we got to talk about constant velocity. Based on the video that you just watched, these terms should be familiar, and we're going to talk about them specifically. Write these down if you don't have them. Excuse my video there, now you can see it all. These terms we're going to use over and over and over, and so we have to have a really good, strong understanding of what that is. Some of them you already know. Position, where you are on the number line. You did this with the walking lab. Distance, how far you've gone. Displacement, a little bit different. It's that straight line distance between our finish line and our starting line. So I don't care if you've gone all over. I just want to know how far it is from the start to finish. And we use a Greek symbol that looks like a triangle. It's called delta. So this would be delta x. Anytime we see a delta, it means a change in. So we're just looking at a change in position. And all of these are being measured in meters. And then we have speed, which is how fast. This is what your speedometer tells you. And then we have velocity. Oops, if you can see it, feel free to, sorry, my arrow keys aren't working. Pause this and go back so that you can write all this down in your toolbox. But we have velocity, which is how fast we're going and in what direction. So in physics, we tend to add extra pieces of information that helps us solve, and that comes in the direction piece. And so how do we indicate that? Well, there's three different ways. The one that you probably are most comfortable with in terms of giving someone directions would be in cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. We associate these as positive or negative based on your graphing coordinate plane. So you know from math class, you have a positive x, a positive y, a negative x, negative y. So north and east are considered positive directions and south and west are considered negative. We can also think about it in terms of up, down, left, or right. And so these direction pieces will come into play for the rest of this year. Here's a little picture of the difference between distance and displacement. Displacement is that straight line distance from our final position to our initial position, the change in position, whereas distance is the total path that I've traveled. And so you could have, like in this case, a much longer distance, even though you've ended up at the same place and you started at the same place, but you traveled further. And so in this case, your displacement would be much smaller. Okay, another example, like if you were walking on your number line for the walking lab, you walked forward 8 meters and then you turned around and you walked backwards 3. Well, my total distance traveled would be 11 meters. I would just add those up. My displacement would be the difference here from my start to my finish, which would have to be 5 meters. Okay, sorry, there's a lot of things out of order on here. All right, you made some position versus time graphs, and you should have found that most of them were a linear relationship. You didn't have to use your cheat sheet and linearize. And so what we find when we're looking at these lines, especially if you go through and look through the car buggies, the slope is telling us something. If it's really, really steep, it means it's covering a lot of position in a little amount of time, and so it's moving really, really fast. If it's really, really shallow, it means it's moving really, really slow. Or if it's a horizontal line where the position stays the same for the entire time, it means you're not moving at all. And so the slope can tell us what the velocity is. And that really you can see from the units. And this is why the units are so important. We know that to find the slope, it's a change in position over time. Right, because we said slope was the rise over the run. Well, the rise is position and the run is time, and so meters per second, which is a speed of velocity for us in this case, okay? Because you can have a negative slope, which means you can have a negative velocity. And so think about for a second, what would that mean? Negative velocity, maybe you're moving to the left, or you're going west. You're moving in the negative direction. And how would that show up on your position time graph? Well, it would be a line. This one matches, I think, what you see. It would be a line with a negative slope. Right? Another thing we can think about, and I don't think I marked it here. Nope. What does my y-intercept tell me? Think about it when you were doing your walking lab. Your y-intercept right here, if we put it into words, is, let's just pretend it's 3 meters when my time is 0. So this is telling me my starting point. I didn't start at position 0 in this case. I started at a more positive position, at 3 if we want to pretend it. All right, so what's the difference between speed and velocity? Well, if I am still doing the same path, but I'm going to do it in 10 seconds, I can find my speed. My speed is just my total distance divided by time. So 8, 9, 10, 11 meters divided by 10 seconds gives us 1.1 meters per second. My velocity is my displacement divided by time, and it has a direction as well. And so my displacement is 5 meters to the right, so we're going to say that's positive because he's moving in the positive direction, divided by 10, and so I get an answer of 0.5 meters per second to the right in the positive direction. So this is interesting because my velocity is much lower than my speed, even though we started and ended in the same spot. So something to think about. We have to keep that in mind. I think here's where I show the y-intercept piece again. It tells us our starting position. At time 0, the car's position is, and then we can fill in the blank. That's like our statement. So what things do you need to record from what we just talked about? Well, other than the vocabulary words at the beginning, these will be very helpful. The slope on a position versus time graph is our velocity. So if I showed you a whole bunch of them, you could just find the slope and determine the velocity. A positive slope means the object is moving in the positive direction. Negative slope means the object is moving in the negative direction. Steeper means it's moving faster. The y-intercept gives the object starting position, and then we have 2 equations here. This is your mathematical model, right? You should have gotten something that said, in our case, we're going to call it position, but position is equal to a number, your slope, times time. And so if we pull out what the true meaning of that is, we can come up with this idea that velocity is a distance over time, and it has some sort of direction. So something to think about before we get too far. What happens when 2 lines overlap like this? Think about your car buggy lap. That's it. Write those down, and we'll get to it.